One day, a bunch of French scientists went to visit a Russian Antarctica station, and they had a small cocktail party. So as a form of celebration, they take some recently drilled ice and then put them into the cocktail glass. And the magic happened. It starts to bubble. So at that point, one French scientist realized, wait a minute, this must be Asian atmosphere that got trapped in the ice.
Antarctica is where there is old ice. There's sort of this decades-long history of using ice cores to interpret climate. It's cold and windy, and at its best, it's not a pleasant place to be. It's incredibly beautiful, however. I mean, it's sort of breathtakingly pristine and clean.
To the extent that we're able to push records further back, we are going to be looking at worlds that were warmer than today. And so that has obvious implications for thinking about, future worlds that may be warmer. The record from the ice cores shows us that when CO2 goes up and down is more or less in concert with the changes in Earth's climate.
We're taking a slightly different approach. So instead of going deep in the spot where the ice is thick, we find a place where the ice is moving towards the mountain. So what used to be very deep inside, because you have a mountain that's get pushed upward. So these kind of dynamics give you access to what used to be very deep Asian ice near a shallow surface. So you can just drill, say, 200 meters and get very old ice.
The work itself was not super strenuous, but the ice has to come out of the ground in Antarctica and end up in like 3 or 4 different labs in the US on opposite coasts. An ice core itself is maybe like that big. The tricky part is that it's like really long. It's better if you can get them out of the field fast. So we would have planes come out and we would load giant crates onto the plane, and then the plane would take it back to McMurdo and they would store it in the ice core facility. That ice core then has to get loaded onto an ice-breaking ship that comes once a year and get taken back to America and then flown to the National Ice Core Processing Center in Colorado. At which point, Yuzhen flies to Colorado, cuts up the ice, takes it to California, and measures it. He takes other ice to Princeton, and other ice goes to Maine.
You take a bunch of records, and then you can interpret them as climate history. That's where I became fascinated by this magic.
We have measurements that go back, roughly, I believe, 2.5 million years. And so what's exciting about that is that's, much older than we had anticipated it going.
The biggest discovery is that, there is 2 million year old ice. And I think that's itself is a pretty amazing discovery. I definitely want to go back again to get more.